Welcome to In the Kitchen with Galavante. I'm Christine Drinan, the founder of Galavante, and today you're in my kitchen here in New York City. Our recipe is inspired by my travels to London, where they have these amazing Sunday suppers with roast chicken and all of the side dishes. So today, because it's really cold here in New York, and there's nothing like roast chicken that makes your house feel immediately cozy and just smell amazing, we are going to make the most simple roast chicken you can possibly think of. This is the recipe that only takes about 10 minutes in prep time, and it takes about an hour to cook, but it is going to make you look like a superhero. To make this roast chicken, you need just a few ingredients. Of course, you need a chicken. I always like to get an organic chicken. You need some parsley, whatever citrus you have in your house. Today I have some extra oranges, lemons, and limes, and I also had some onion from last night, as well as some herbs. And then this is also a key ingredient, some fleur de sel, because you're going to use this to season the cavity of the bird, and it's just going to make the meat so flavorful and tender. And then I always like to have a little bit of extra chicken broth on hand, just in case we need to get the bird a little juicier while we're roasting it. And then this is the key, which is butter. You're going to use about a stick to a stick and a half of butter, and you're going to see that we're going to put it both under the skin, in the cavity, and also on the outside of the skin while the chicken is roasting. So the first thing you're going to do is make sure your chicken is washed. I cannot say how important that is for food safety. And then you are also going to make sure that once the chicken is washed and it's completely clean, you pat it dry so there's no additional moisture. So once you get there, we are going to season the chicken first. And like I said, you cannot be shy with this. I'm going to take more salt than you think you need, and I'm going to throw it all into the cavity of the chicken. This is going to make the chicken taste amazing. You don't even need to salt the chicken when you're done. And then what you're going to do is, I like to separate the skin of the chicken so we can really get in there and get all the butter and the herbs going. And this is what's going to brown your chicken beautifully. Okay, the salt goes in the breast area here. And don't forget the legs. Everyone seems to really like the dark meat nowadays. Okay, now once you're salted, you are going to take your citrus, squeeze some of that juice in, and then you're going to throw this into the cavity of the bird. Essentially, you're going to stuff your bird with this bouquet garni. Onion goes next. And this is what's going to make your chicken so moist and tender. Throw some herbs in here. And then it's time for the butter. You'll see that I left this actually in the sleeve of the butter. I like doing this because it also allows me to help rub the chicken a little bit better, and I don't get butter all over my hands. But butter is going to go into the cavity of the bird. I'm just going to take a big chunk of this and throw it way deep in. And then I'm going to take more chunks of butter. I'm going to flatten them out a little bit, and I'm going to stick them in between the skin of the bird. And then here, you're going to smear the butter on the outside. Though really, this ends up just burning off. Pat it all in. I like to put some extra salt. And then the question is, do you tie the bird or not tie the bird? I have worked with Alinea for my Thanksgiving dinners, and they say you don't trust the bird. I personally like to trust it because it keeps all of the flavors and the juice in. So you just take some string that is safe to put in the oven. You tie up your bird's legs, and there you go. After that quick prep that took less than 10 minutes, it's now time to pop your bird in the oven. My oven's been preheating at 450 degrees, and it takes about anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour to cook. But you know your bird is done when your meat thermometer tells you and not your sight, because the bird may end up browning with all of this butter in it, and it may look done, but no one wants pink chicken. So I'm just gonna pop this in. And guys, your job is done. Go make your side dishes, go do something else, because you'll check on the bird at about 25 minutes. You'll baste it with some of that extra chicken broth and maybe some of the butter that's been dripping down the pan. But otherwise, this is one where you let the bird do its thing. Oh my God, I wish you could smell this right now. My house is just filled with the smell of roast chicken because there's just nothing quite like it. This reminds me so much of those amazing Sunday suppers that I've had in London, and I can't wait to get back there. So thank you today for joining us at In the Kitchen with Galavante at my home, and we can't wait to see you the next time for other recipes inspired by our travels around the world.